This week's scary movie of the week is actually a TV show that's on HBO, and it's called The Last of Us. Apparently it's based on a video game, and after watching the whole series, I kind of think I'd like to play the video game. Like, it seems like it's one of those, first person video games where it, tells a story as you go through each level or, challenge or whatever, but it's about zombies, but it puts a really interesting twist on how you can get infected. In this, their synapses of it, I guess, basically it's like a virus or like a fungus, really, that infects you and it's like it's pretty much a plant that infects you, fungus plant, whichever you want to call it, and it infects you and pretty much kills you, just like all the other zombies. The rest of it is the same, except the zombies are connected because it is a fungus. And I don't think, and I've seen many zombie movies, TV shows, everything. I don't think the zombies are really connected. The only time I've really seen, a connection in them is on the Netflix, movie which I can't remember the name of it right now, but, they were kind of like a family or whatever. But, yeah, it's a very interesting TV series. It's only got, I think it's 2 seasons. Actually, it might just be 1 season. So, I mean, if you want to catch up on it real quick, I think it's 6-7 episodes. So, not a quick, time, but it might take you a couple days. I could binge it in a weekend if I really wanted to. But I definitely suggest that you check it out if you have HBO. This week's ridiculous lawsuit is from 2022, and it doesn't give the person's name, but I feel like it might have been a woman. But this person decided to sue Publix over their honey lemon cough drops. The person said that the picture on the front of the package had a lemon cut in half, and so it made them think that the cough drops were made with real lemons, even though the package did not say that lemons was part of the ingredients or anything. I mean, I don't understand. Sometimes I just wonder about people, because literally, girl, it probably just lemon flavor, which means, honey lemon flavor. I'm sure I had a picture of honey on it too. So, I mean, did she think there was maybe real honey in it? But, he or she, let me not name the sex because they don't say. But, people just will find any reason to sue. And I kind of wonder how much money this person wasted on this lawsuit, especially over Publix, because Publix got a lot of money. I'm like, you probably just wasted more of your time and effort and energy. And their lawyer probably looked at it, shot it down, and probably didn't even charge them. But of course they lost. Now it's funny because a lot of these, products have pictures on the front to make it appealing to your eyes. So I'm like, if they stop adding pictures and just make it a drab black or white packaging, I guess that would have made them feel better, because then they wouldn't have been confused as to what was in it. But like I said, the person lost, so hopefully they learn their lesson. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast, Like You Didn't Know. So apparently, if you didn't know, apparently there are forever chemicals in drinking water. And if you don't know what forever chemicals are, they're basically chemicals that pretty much don't go away, no matter how much filtering, no matter how much, maybe Brita filters get them out. I'm not even gonna lie about that. But basically, there's stuff that the filtering process that most cities and states do to their water are still in there, even after they do all that. And apparently the Environmental Protection Agency is finally proposing the nation's first ever drinking water standard around forever chemicals. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the scientific name, but for short, it's PFASs. This rule would establish legal enforceable limits for different types of chemicals common in drinking water. It's very, so, I mean, it's not surprising that the government has, I mean, I guess it's not a secret, but that they have not really done anything about it. But this agency is, that designated the PFASs as hazardous substances under the Clean Water Act. They are putting a rule in place that limits how much those specific chemicals are safe for consumption, which again, in my mind, I'm like, if they're not safe, they're not safe, no matter what amount they are. Like, just get rid of them completely. And I know that it's hard because of all the chemicals and products that a lot of us use every day, cleaning agents, laundry detergents, soap, anything that goes down the drain potentially probably ends up back in our bodies if you think about it. But I'm like, with all these chemicals that scientists and companies and governments are able to come up with, why can they not find, and let me not even say that because I know they can and probably have, but a non-toxic way to get rid of, well, really a non-toxic thing that people can use to, well, first let's go back. All these companies that use these toxic chemicals should get rid of them. That should be law. Like, if you are using anything in your product that has been shown to cause cancer, you should be fined and your product should be discontinued. Start there. So then after that, I don't understand why they can't figure out a filtration system that can get rid of these chemicals, because I mean, they're able to they cured AIDS. You can cure AIDS. Why can't you get the chemicals out of the water? So they are working with the government basically to try to get the waters as clean as possible. I mean, I don't know if it's ever really going to go anywhere, and who knows how many PFASs are in our water, but it's just scary to think that pretty much anything these days, that especially in America, because if you don't know, America does not have very high regulations on a lot of stuff. They allow a lot of things to be put into our products. Like, if you read the back of the ingredients on pretty much anything, everything is bioengineered, which may not necessarily be bad. I'm like, I don't know, bioengineering may not necessarily be bad, but a lot of the other stuff, like the red dye, if you haven't heard, that is toxic, and that's in pretty much any artificially colored object that's red that you eat. Really, red, blue, probably any of those dyes. And in my mind, I'm like, why can't you use natural? Because plants, flowers and stuff naturally produce dyes to color them, and they know they can extract them, and they know how to do it. Who really cares if an M&M is bright red or bright blue? That's not going to change the fact that people like eating them. Like, to me, it's stupid stuff. Like, it's aesthetically pleasing. But if I am eating M&Ms and I know that they're not containing a dangerous chemical, I wouldn't care what color they are. They can be brown for all I care, as long as they taste good. But it's like, even I had read an article about tea bags and how they release plastic into your water. And I'm like, why can't y'all just make this stuff out of like fiber? Why does it have to be plastic in it? Like, maybe the plastic helps hold the tea in together more, but I don't care if little tea leaves get into my cup of tea. If the not having plastic get into it that I can't see, that is minuscule and is polluting my body, if that's the toss up, if I have to choose one or the other, I would choose the little tea leaves getting into my tea. It's just, and I kind of wonder, like, some of these companies, like, do they feed their families this kind of stuff? Like, if you know that this dye or this product or this packaging or whatever is releasing dangerous chemicals or polluting or whatever, do you still allow your family to use it? And I've always kind of wondered that. But I would just say be careful and always read the ingredients. Google is a source of information. If you don't know what it is, Google it. I always Google, like, anytime I buy like face products and stuff, or lotion, whichever. I always Google like the ingredients and just to see like how toxic they are, because I understand that sometimes we do need synthetic stuff to help preserve things, and not all of it is bad, but some of the stuff has been proven. Like they know it's common knowledge. You don't have to look very hard to find out that red 40 or whatever it is toxic. They say it all the time. And I was talking to one of my friends from school, and she was saying that you can even fact check me and research it because there are articles online about it, that a lot of like take Oreos, for example. The Oreos that we have here, the ingredients are different in other countries. A lot of the products that they give to America are chemical laden, and the other countries don't allow it. I mean, even you buy clothes, shoes, whatever, and every now and then a lot of times you'll see where California has banned this particular type of thing because it's been shown to cause cancer. Like, they literally have the warning. But what can you do? I mean, you have to wear shoes, you have to wear clothes. I mean, I guess you could go out and buy the really expensive $200-$300 shoes and clothes if those don't have it, because who knows if they do or not. But it's just interesting that which California tends to be a very, I'm not even gonna say liberal, but more I'm not even gonna say open-minded, but they seem to be more aware of things that are going on in the world and things that can hurt us. And they seem to be more willing to, especially that governor over there, he seems to be more willing to say, no, we're not accepting this. And other countries too don't accept all these chemicals in their stuff. And it's interesting to me that a lot of people from other countries and cultures come to America, which I know a lot of them are coming from war-torn countries, and which that's completely different. I would risk eating M&Ms versus being in a place where I could be murdered at any moment. But it's still interesting that they come here, and I'd be curious just to know how they feel about our food, because I know, like, especially like one of my friends lives in Mexico, and they eat a lot of fruit. They eat a lot healthier than we do, and I'm sure maybe their regulations are different in Mexico. I don't know if they have the same products, but it's just interesting, and it's kind of sad because America totes itself as just this great country that cares about its people, which we all know is not true, and it's proven that they don't really care in everything. And I, like I said before, I'd be curious to know if these people that are allowing these products or ingredients to be used in pretty much everything, if they still use the stuff, because a lot of this stuff has been proven over years and years of research, and sometimes not even years. It doesn't even take them that long for it to show its toxic effects, but they still put it in stuff. And that's really what's scary. And it's like, how much money should you have to spend on something like an everyday product, like face wash? How much money should you have to spend on something like that to get something without chemicals? Which there's a lot of brands, face wash brands out there that they're pretty cost effective. Like the kind that I get, my Minimo, it's not expensive. I mean, it does add up because I get different products, but compared to, I mean, it is more expensive than like Neutrogena or some of these other brands that are known to have chemicals in them. But I'm willing to pay $3, $4, $5 more extra dollars, and it's probably not even that much more, but I'm willing to pay a couple more extra dollars to know that I'm getting something that's truly safe, not even natural. I don't even care if it's all natural, because like I said, I understand that there have to be some synthetic preservatives and stuff, but all those are not bad. And so I'm okay with there being some synthetic stuff as long as it's been proven to not have any harmful effects. But, yeah, I would say just be aware, be cautious, read the ingredients, do your research. Like there are a lot of companies out there that actually do care about us and do want to make products that are not only effective and healthy, but as close to natural as they can be, or safe, pretty much just safe. Like safety is the number one concern, at least for me. So, I mean, anything, gum, I've stopped chewing gum because aspartame is poison. Red Bull is poison. Like there's a lot of products that people use on a daily basis that are killing you. slowly but surely. And I mean, maybe the doctors want us to get sick so they can try and cure us. Maybe it's all going full circle, and there's reasons for all this that we don't understand. But the cycle ends with me, is all I'm gonna say. So thanks for listening. You can find my podcast on Spotify. I think they changed the name of it, maybe. I don't know. Or Anchor it's Spotify for podcasters or something. But I think if you still search Anchor, you could find it. But, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's late because I was in Memphis last week. But anyway, have a good night.